Hi, I have interviewed with some top tech names like Google, Microsoft, Flipkart, LinkedIn, and have cleared all of these interviews. I have worked with all these companies. The fascinating thing is that I leveraged LinkedIn to get a job every time I was going through a major setback in my career. So either I had been laid off, or I was on an employment gap, or I was trying to come out of a job that was not working well for me. And it was in a time when LinkedIn was not seen as a job search platform in India. It was, a platform comparable to Facebook, where you just connect to your colleagues just the way you connect to your friends on Facebook. And in those times, I discovered my own ways to leverage this platform. In today's video, I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks on how you can also leverage LinkedIn to get the maximum out of your job search. Step is to have a rich LinkedIn profile. So we are going to look at the example of my screen here, my LinkedIn profile here. So at the top, you see a cover image. Now use this space to highlight any of the achievement you have had in the recent past. So what I have here is a screenshot from an online magazine called Positivity for a Change, which featured me as one of the humans of lockdown, besides Atul Khatri. So it's about the content creators who have kept us going in the lockdown times of COVID, and that felt like a big achievement to me. So I just have a image there. So you can have an image from a conference you spoke at or attended, or anything about your company, or an event where you performed in your college. Can be a good example as well. Now, the second piece is the summary that you see right below my name, highlighting all the X companies I have worked at, that I'm a published author, etc., etc. Try to have that, making it as detailed as possible. If you don't know what to write, look at some of the examples of your seniors in college or in office, people in the same domain, and the kind of keywords that they are using. If we move down, here comes the most important part, which is activity. And it is most important because it grants a richness to your profile. Think if it was not there, then it would just be your education and your corporate experience that would be reflected. So try to write some articles now and then on LinkedIn. Also try to comment on some of the articles that you like. Now I know one may argue that you are sort of an introvert personality and you're not really into posting a lot of stuff on social and professional media, but think of it as a skill. The people who put themselves out there for criticism are not necessarily extroverts. They are just someone who realize the importance of doing this, putting their views out there, because it tells the world a lot of things. One is that they have a viewpoint. Second, that they are not afraid of feedback or criticism on this piece of work. And third, that they are risk takers. So they actually go out and post stuff. So yeah, those are mostly the key takeaways from this activity piece. Try to do it, like I said, it improves the richness of your profile. Then comes the about section, which is sort of a small textual description about you. And this is the space where you try to sell yourself in a good light, kind of highlight the important experience you have had so far. um, Again, I would suggest look at the kind of jobs where you want to be at, look at the keywords that align with your work experience, and try to highlight those over here. So, as an example, I mention that I have worked with emerging markets, I have worked in international markets, I have worked with small business owners, and those are all the keywords that are required in the domain I work in the space I am in. Then coming to the experience, short and simple is the rule of the game here. Very straightforward. just the name of the company and the title would do magic. You don't have to add a lot of stuff here, unless it is something you really want to highlight. Education, again, keep it short and simple. Your school could be mentioned here, your undergrad degree, your postgrad degree. If you have any certifications, that would be also good to add here. Again, recommendations is not something that would make or break anything, but it is something which grants richness to your profile. And I encourage you to have some people with good credentials here, to add to this space. Honors and awards, if you have got any, and some of the interest you can highlight. So that is mostly about the LinkedIn profile, and that is the first step. The second step is really to find the job that you are looking for. So let's say I am looking for a data analyst job. I'll type a data analyst here, and I'll hit enter, search. Now it has already taken the location of India for me, and this is exactly what I want. So let's look at some of the job openings that we may be interested in. So let's say, I'm interested in this data analyst, S&P Global. The first thing to do here is to go through the description of the job, kind of look at the responsibilities that company is looking for, and how closely do we align with those responsibilities. And if you feel, you are a good fit for this, the next step is to not hit on apply. Remember that. Do not spoil your chances by hitting on the apply button. But let's do it the right way to maximize your chances of landing this job. If you click on share via, you will be able to get a link that you can save in any of the tools on your mobile or on your laptop, like Notes, Google Docs, etc. So the idea is to capture the link from here and use it in the third step that I'm going to talk about now, which is about connecting to people. And that is the idea of LinkedIn. It lets you connect to people and leverage those connections rather than looking at it as a platform where you can just hit apply button like on Naukri and get a job. That's not the way it works. Let's look at few more jobs. For example, let's say this one, data scientist at PayPal. If this is something that fits your description, uh, fits the kind of work that you want to do, and here are all these beautiful bullet points. You can go through and check if you do fit. Again, try to hit on share via and copy the link of this job. So that is essentially the second step. Now, coming to the third step, which is really about finding these people and sending them connection invites and notes. Um, so we can take their reference or get the process moving and build some connections in the process, essentially networking. So let's say we found two jobs. One was S&P Global data analyst. Another was I think it was a PayPal analyst job that we just saved the link for. So the third step is really to reach out to people in these profiles in these companies and make connections. So you can pitch yourself and you can ask for a reference. So let's try going through this process. I'm going to search for data analyst here. Let's say in PayPal, because that was one of the openings we had outlined. I'm going to hit on see all people results, and these are essentially all the people that work in different data analyst positions at PayPal. So we see profiles here which are like, senior data analyst, which are data analyst, and there would be people across, more senior hierarchies as well. Now the idea is to reach out to these people. Let's say I click on this profile now, and I want to connect to this person. Let's say I want to connect with the senior data analyst here, Venkata Kannan, and I'm going to hit on his profile and click on the connect button here. Now, I'm not going to do that. That is for something to do for you later with the people that you might be interested in connecting. This is just an example that I'm highlighting here. So, when you click on connect, you would see the option to add a note as well. Now, it's an art. How do you get someone's attention, pitch yourself at the same time, and not push yourself too hard? I sent a lot of these notes during my own job search process and failed a lot. Like, I think there was a less than 20% response rate, which means if I sent 100 notes, I heard only less than 20 times back. So try to send more of these notes in quantity, but at the same time focus on the quality, and be ready for rejections and silences, because that is just the nature of the job search. So here are a few tips to make these notes work for you. One is keep them short, stick to the word limit, and try to introduce yourself, provide some context, and then ask for some help. So a template could be, hi there, my name is XYZ, and I work at this company. You can talk about your experience, in terms of numbers of years or your job profile, and say something like, I'm looking for my next job opportunity and would love to connect and explore more. If you have a job link ready from the previous step, provide a shortened version of it there, shortened link of it, and that's it. Leave it to chance. You may hear back from some people. They may come visit your profile and show interest. You may get asked for your resume. People may share their email IDs and ask you to send resumes if their teams have openings. You may get interview call scheduled as well. If you reach out to a recruiter, they may be like, yeah, let's hop on to a preliminary call. But yeah, it's important to make that effort and not get discouraged when you do not hear back a lot, because that's how the process works, and you will face that. Another important thing to note is, these connection notes basically direct people to your profile. So if you made good use of that space, which is called activities, where we talked about writing articles or showcasing your skill set, whatever it is. If you are into design, you can showcase some of your projects there. If you are into product management, you can show some of your work samples there, whatever counts towards your domain. I'm sure every field has something that you can show in some way, and that's how you bring in your own unique creativity to this space and to job search process. And yeah, that's mostly it about leveraging LinkedIn. You do your job, go through step by step process, and wait for people to respond. The objective is to not get a job, because that does not happen overnight. Everything is a process, is an iterative process. The best thing you can hope is to land an interview and then convert it. Yeah, and as a final piece of advice, if you take one thing away from that video, let it be patience. Job search is a game of patience, and it is overcoming your own internal fear of rejection, because you are going to face that a lot. So be prepared, be patient, and you will land it sooner than later. See you in the next video. Bye.